INFJs prefer to keep their thoughts and feelings to themselves. Furthermore, they're highly intuitive and at times empaths. Being introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging, or INFJ, results in a unique set of behaviors and thought processes that not everyone can comprehend. And because INFJ personalities don't speak often, it's more difficult for others to understand them because they don't open up to just anyone. Let's take a look at the struggles only INFJs can relate to. Number 8. INFJs feel so old, but also very young at the exact same time. This is a little more difficult to explain. INFJs are said to have old souls. We don't mean this in a snobbish, I'm so wise, zen, inner peace way. They simply feel very world-weary at times, while seeking inner peace and meaning in everything they do. Isn't it complicated? It's not always depression, though INFJs have been known to suffer from this mental health condition. It's a bittersweet melancholy, as if they've been alive for over 1,000 years. They enjoy laughing, dancing in the snow, frolicking in the meadow, watching Disney movies, and having pillow fights. This constant tug between youth and maturity is a source of internal conflict for INFJs. Number 7. INFJs overthink themselves into an existential crisis. Overthinking is a major challenge for almost all introverts, including INFJs. What begins as a simple thought about how to solve a problem can quickly escalate into a full-fledged existential crisis. Once caught up in this crisis, it can be extremely difficult to get out. Their existential crises are frequently caused by lack of a clear goal or mission. For example, if they examine every detail of their current job, they may discover that there's no overarching purpose. INFJs may then wonder why they were ever put in this planet in the first place. These thought crises can dampen their enthusiasm and motivation as they search endlessly for purpose and meaning, which is why INFJs must learn how to deal with overthinking. Number 6. INFJs can come off as clingy and needy. Here's the deal. INFJs are extremely loyal, and when they love more deeply and fiercely than they can comprehend. They desperately want the people in their lives to feel valued. However, constant communication and "how are you doing" can backfire. "Are you okay" can be perceived as clingy. It's strange because as introverts, the spotlight is the last thing INFJs want. Rather, they want to make sure you're okay and to let you know we're always here for you. Even INFJs may be surprised by their own behavior, as this personality type is usually quite independent, if not aloof. Number 5. Socializing in social events. Being social is part of what it means to be human. It's written in our DNA, but that's difficult for INFJs. INFJs do not draw energy from their surroundings or from other people. They get it from within themselves. The energy thrown at them while at social gathering depletes them. This is due to 2 factors. The first is that instead of absorbing the energy of others, they tend to fight it because they have extra energy. And the second is that if they do absorb the energy, they tend to absorb negative energy. INFJs are known to be empathetic, and the majority of them are. Most of the time, empaths absorb and transmute negative energy. However, this is a slow and laborious process that depletes their normal and positive energy supply. It's even worse when INFJs are subjected to an onslaught of energy with no end in sight. Another reason INFJs struggle with socializing is that when they're not dealing with outside energy, they actively spend their energy trying to keep up with other people, even if they do not necessarily share interests or beliefs. Talking or trying to keep up with things that don't interest them or that they don't see the point in, such as small talk, saps their energy. But they want to be polite and avoid appearing rude. So for the most part, INFJs grin and bear it until they can find an acceptable way to leave. Number 4. Difficulty in expressing themselves. Do you struggle to express yourself, your beliefs, and your opinions? As an INFJ, your difficulty expressing yourself may be due to a combination of overthinking, not wanting to offend others, thinking so quickly that you can't say anything, and not having anything to say. INFJs are also afraid of being judged by others and being hurt if they express their feelings. Depending on the situation, INFJs are observers. They have witnessed these scenarios as either a fly on the wall or as a result of their own personal experiences. This causes the INFJ to put up a wall, refusing to express themselves to strangers or acquaintances, despite the fact that they pour their hearts out to those in our close circle. Because INFJs want to fit in and avoid being that one person who doesn't say anything, they'll sometimes try to talk more about themselves and their ideas with others. Typically, they're most concerned with the outcome, which was either too much or too little, or they think it is, and then they feel bad about it for days. Number 3. Accepting help or care. INFJs are typically the ones who help others. They enjoy being of assistance in any way they can. They become accustomed to being the backbone. and most of the time, all they want in return is a thank you. They too like to solve their problems mentally as INFJs. For one thing, it's rewarding, and for another, they dislike burdening others. As a result, whenever someone offers to assist or care for them, they become concerned. They begin to question their motives, especially if the offer comes from someone they don't know well. Why do they want to assist? Is this some sort of a joke? What if it proves to be too much for them? INFJs don't want to put them through this because they believe it'll burden the other person. They begin to feel guilty about the person who's assisting them. There is another more subtle reason for this. It's because INFJs are unsure whether the person offering assistance will provide the assistance that they require or desire. INFJs' observant nature aids them in determining how and who people are, as well as their care requirements. They don't have to talk about it to find out. While not as perspective as INFJs, other people do need more active communication. INFJs are aware of this, as well as the fact that they struggle to express themselves. As a result, given the limited knowledge the other person has of them, they feel more than confident that their assistance or concern will not be what INFJs require, and they don't want to embarrass them by bringing it up, especially since INFJs can be very cold and blunt with their words. Number 2, being stuck in the past. Getting stuck in memories and past scenarios is not always easy for an INFJ, although it can be. But more often than not, the INFJ person recalls bad, awkward, or embarrassing events in their lives. Most of what an INFJ remembers are bad, awkward, or embarrassing is in fact none of these things, despite the fact that the INFJ believes they are. However, thinking in this manner leads to a downward spiral of guilt, shame, embarrassment, self-judgment, and blame, among other things. This is detrimental to anyone's mental health or self-esteem. Not only that, but they frequently jump from scenario to scenario and memory to memory, often from the least bad to the worst possible scenario. With the memories come the emotions, which make them feel worthless, lonely, isolated, and loveless by the end. INFJs, on the other hand, can become stuck in the past, wishing and wondering why they can't have similar experiences now. It instills nostalgia in them, which they frequently experience as pain or a sad longing in their chest. Number 1, Perfectionist and Procastinator. Have you ever heard that you can be a perfectionist and a procrastinator at the same time? We thought it was impossible until recently. Perfectionists are perceived as people who are in control of everything, including time management. Procrastinators, on the other hand, leave everything until the last minute and become overwhelmed most of the time when they realize how much work they have to do in such a short period of time. The INFJ personifies both perfection and procrastination. INFJs prefer things that are pleasing, coordinated, planned, make sense, have relevant information, have the right amount of information from the right sources, and are aligned, color-coordinated. In short, things that are perfect. INFJs often leave everything until the last minute to avoid the stress and anxiety that planning every detail can cause. And that's all for today. What are your thoughts on this video? Do let us know in the comments below if you could relate to these struggles. As always, like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more psychology updates. See you in the next video.